Hi, this is Skylar from HotSpring Spas. Today we're going to talk about our Ace saltwater system a little bit, how to get you going. Many of our customers, once you buy a hot tub from us, you might find yourself in a similar situation where you've got a hot tub, it's in your backyard, wherever, maybe it's in your garage. It's in place, there's water in it, the water's hot. Well, now what? Now we need to start getting our chemicals in, get our Ace water system dialed in, get everything up and running, and that way you guys can sit back and relax and enjoy it. Alright guys, and just to walk through everything one last time, you'll get one of these with your delivery, and we also have some links that you can find this on our website. This is the 5 diamonds to the Ace saltwater system. This is everything we've been talking about in this video in a little bulleted form. So just to cover it quick, we're going to balance our water, make sure that we have soft water in the hot tub. Water's going to heat up, then at that point it's time for us to number 2, add salt, set our output. So we talked about that. You're going to cut the initial amount of salt in half, go ahead, add it into the water, let it circulate, hit your test button. Once it's in the green reading functioning, then we're going to go ahead and set our output. Set that output, bigger tubs I'd start at a 5 or 6, smaller tubs 2 to 3. And then you're looking for that lowest output number possible while still maintaining clean, clear, comfortable water. Third, a little sodium dichlor. That's just a fancy way of saying chlorine. If the water needs a little freshening up, go ahead and just top it off with a little chlorine. It's not going to hurt anything. Chlorine's our friend here. It's our sanitizer. We just want to get some of that in the water. It's going to clear everything up. Times you might use that as, say, after some family gathering, some friends over, things like that. Maybe the kids had some friends over in the hot tub's not looking great. Little cap full of sodium dichlor or that boost feature, which we mentioned earlier. We'll take care of that for you. Finally, number 4, we got the confirmation, which we just went over. That's going to make sure that that green light's going to start flashing. Once it does, we go into that Ace Water Care menu, confirm the output level at wherever we need it to be, the appropriate number for you and your use. That's going to be every 30 days that we're going to have to do that confirmation on the output level. And then finally, the 5th diamond here is just stay clean. And what that's saying is every 30 days we need to be cleaning our filters with a chemical degreaser. That's part of the setup. You'll get that on startup, the granular degreaser. As well as every 90 days we do need to do a salt cell cleaning. We've got a video coming shortly that'll show you exactly how to do that. Thanks guys. Okay guys, so again we go into our Ace Water Care menu, the orange water droplet at the bottom of the screen. Everything's functioning on this one right now, but let's just say for instance that green light was flashing. If I went into this menu where it reads functioning up top here, it's going to say confirm output. All I'm going to do to confirm the output is go ahead and either hit the up or the down arrow, and that's going to confirm it. As soon as I hit one of those, it's going to go back to reading functioning on the screen, and our green logo light up front is going to go from flashing green to solid green again. Once you've done that, you're good to go for another 30 days, so you won't have to worry about that again. It just acts as a fail-safe to make sure we don't have it set too high, too low, just like we were talking about that sprinkler system analogy. We just want to make sure that it's always set at the optimal level for your use and the amount of people that are in and out of the hot tub. So this logo light, if you see the green light flashing, 99 times out of 100 guys, what that's really going to mean is that it's time to confirm our output, especially if you have the Ace salt system. So this is blinking. It's super simple. We're going to show you how to go into your menu, Ace Water Care menu, and go ahead and get that confirmed, and it's going to be good for another 30 days. So once again, one more time, every 30 days this green light is going to blink at you. Totally normal. It's just telling us that we need to go and confirm our output on our Ace system, and then you're going to be good to go for another 30 days. Now with the Ace saltwater system guys, once a month it is going to make you confirm your output. Super simple to do, and if you look out at your tub one day and you see this green light on the front blinking. Okay, so after we have our salt up into a functioning range up in the green here, the next thing we're going to do is set our output level. Now to set the output level, what that really is controlling is how often it's producing that sanitizer and that oxidizer each hour. Think of your output level like a sprinkler system for your lawn. It's not going to know whether or not the lawn is over soaked and drowning or dry and brittle. It's only going to do what you tell it to do. So we want to make sure we get that output level dialed in so that it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. On a bigger tub this size, I might start at something like a 5 or a 6, smaller tub, maybe a 2 to a 4. What you're really looking to find is the lowest output number possible while still maintaining clean, clear, comfortable water. So what I mean by that is, let's just say for conversation's sake, I start it up, I've got it at a 5, family's using it, enjoying it, I had a couple friends over, I'm loving the hot tub. About 5, 6, maybe a week pass, I can go out, and if everything's consistently been looking clean, clear, water feels nice and comfortable, I'm going to bump this down to a 4. Now again, I'm going to give it a few days, everything looks clean, clear. If that's still going on, I'm going to bump it down to a 3. Now let's say the vice versa happens. We let it run for a few days. Each time I open the cover, it's a little bit cloudy, there's not quite that clean smell to the water. Then I'd go ahead and just bump it up to a 6. Just by human nature, I think sometimes we think if 5's good, well then 10 must just be awesome. And it's just not the case with this particular unit. We want it high enough so that it's maintaining that clean, clear, comfortable water for you, but at the same time we don't want it so high that you're overworking your system, burning it out prematurely. Again, and the last thing here on the bottom is the boost feature. What boost really does is kick the cell on for 24 hours straight. Now going back to our car analogy here, think of this, think of your salt cell like a set of tires on a car. If I use the boost feature, it works and it does its intended job very well. However, what it's essentially doing is it's like pulling up to a stop sign with that new set of tires and doing a big burnout after you drop the clutch. Happens a couple of times. Is it a big deal? No, not really. If you're doing it week in and week out, is it going to shorten the total life of your salt cell? Absolutely. What I do with my hot tub at home is, if I need, what the boost feature really is for is think of if you had friends over, family, maybe there were some little ones in there and you just want to freshen up the water. That's the application for the boost feature. Now, I can either use that, make the system produce it, but again, like I said, we're only subtracting hours from our total hours. We're never adding to it. So each time we do that, it is subtracting 24 total hours from the runtime. What I can do is just go ahead and throw in a cap full of chlorine or a tablespoon of chlorine. It's doing the same thing as the boost feature. I'm just manually adding it versus having the system produce it. But that's what it is. It's your hot tub, and it's intended to be used however you would like to. But that's what it is, and that's what it does. So if you have any questions on that, always feel free to reach out and give us a call. That's pretty much everything as far as getting you up and running out of the gate. If you have any questions, like I said, reach out to us. We'd love to answer them. Love to make sure you guys are enjoying clean, clear water and really making every day better. Going back to when I was originally talking about adding salt to this tub, we were going to add 8 cups. So I cut that amount in half. I added 4. And at that point, I went in and tested. Now, more than likely, it's going to bring you up in the yellow range, not quite into the green. What I would do is, for the remainder of the amount, I would add 1 cup increments, not exceeding whatever your limit is. So in this case, it would be the 8 cups. I started with 4. Now I'm going to add 1 cup increments, let it run for a couple minutes, and run test, not exceeding the total of 8 cups. Until I'm into the green and reading functioning on the salt. So you'd never want to exceed that total amount, but it may take up to that amount. But once I'm in the green part of the scale and it's reading functioning up here, then I just discontinue adding salt. The next thing you're going to do is set your output level. Now your output level is telling your hot tub, think of it like a sprinkler system for your home. It's only going to do what you tell it to do. So if we're telling it, to produce chlorine, so after it takes a few moments, it's going to tell you where your new reading is on that salt level. If it's in the green and reading functioning, I would just discontinue adding salt. Now going back to our original conversation of adding 8 cups of salt in this particular tub. The reason that I actually cut that amount in half for the salt is that we can always add a little bit more salt. However, salt, because it remains constant, unlike other chemicals that are going to dissipate out of the water as a gas with time, salt, because it really does remain constant in the water, if all this water evaporated, you'd still have the salt sitting in the bottom of the tub. For that reason, we can add a little bit more at a time. We just don't want to tip it over into the too high part of the scale. Then we're looking at draining a portion of the water out, having to top it back off with fresh water to dilute that salinity level. Now if you look in here, you can actually see here's our salt cell itself, and we always want to make sure we keep this in the water submerged when the power's on. If the power's off, I can take it out of the water, but I always want to keep it in the water while the power's on. If it's outside of the water for more than about 10 seconds running dry, it's going to burn itself out. So when I go ahead and add my salt, you can use a measuring cup, use about a cup at a time. I would, like I said, if it's 8 cups, I'd cut that amount in half, do about 4 cups. Add it in here, get your jets running. You can either use the clean cycle or a full jet cycle. Let it run for a few minutes, then we'll go in and do the testing. This table on the side is a good rule of thumb. It's going to get you set up and get you close to within your parameters. However, when we do deliver a hot tub, they are going to bring back a water sample to us. We're going to test it for you, and that way we know exactly what needs to be added. There's going to have to be a little bit of pH balancing. Maybe it's a little high, maybe it's a little low in this area. Typically everything runs a little bit high. However, it's going to be different with each particular set of water that goes with your house. So whatever water source you have will work with. That's just what we have to do to make sure we get this water right. When adding salt, I always like to start a little bit low. What I mean by that is, let's just say for conversation's sake, this tub right here is an Envoy. It's calling for approximately 8 cups of salt. What I would do to start out with is I would cut that in half and add 4 cups of salt. When I add salt, I turn the jets on, and I lift my cover off here, and I usually go ahead and just add right into the filter compartment. On the side of the bottle here, for your salt, you're going to see a table that's going to tell you approximately how much salt you're going to use. This is a good rule of thumb. However, when a hot tub's delivered, they are going to take a water sample back, give it to us, and at that point they're going to... Okay guys, so the first few things that we need to do to get the ACE system up and running, we're going to have to add a little bit of the salt, a little bit of table salt. It's a one-time thing that once you add it, salt's not like other chemicals. It's going to remain constant in the water. The only time you might see a little fluctuation as far as your salt levels on your hot tub is going to be through evaporation. As water evaporates, time to top it off. You may see the salt rise a little bit. It's just because it's more concentrated. Nothing to be concerned about. On the side of each bottle, you're actually going to have a chart that's going to show about how much